is seen as that was his big fight, the Estrada fight. So Viloria, with speed and power, represents a real challenge for Chocolatito.
Viloria fights out of the famed wild card gym in Hollywood. He's one of several fighters who are trained by both Freddie Roach and Roach's assistant, Marvin Somodio. Freddie Roach offered to Brian Viloria and his manager, Gary Gittleson, that he would come to New York and help Brian through this experience against Roman Chocolatito Gonzales, but he also mandated, if I do that, then Marvin has to go back to Los Angeles and work with Miguel Cotto. Gittleson, the manager, along with along with Viloria, decided, well, we're comfortable with Marvin. We understand Marvin. Let Marvin stay here and run this corner. You stay in Los Angeles with Miguel Cotto. So Roach is watching on the West Coast. Marvin Somodio, who has done brilliant work as Roach's assistant, absent from Roach with fighters like Ruslan Provodnikov, is in charge of Viloria tonight. Round one, and Gonzales has not managed to start at the same blistering pace with which he started against Edgar Sosa in May. Viloria is considerably more of a punching threat than Sosa.
Yeah, he's much more of a sharp, crisp puncher than Sosa was. He's a guy that makes you have to be very careful early, so you can't give him any big shots or it could be detrimental in the outcome of the fight. So Chocolatito is very smart, taking his time, trying to walk Viloria down, and then he'll start letting his punches late. So I think the early part of the fight belongs to Viloria and the late part to Chocolatito.
CompuBox numbers make clear, Roy Jones, what a spectacular offensive fighter Chocolatito ultimately turns out to be. Is he also a good defender?
Yes, he's an excellent defender. As you see, Viloria came out through some really good big punches at him, but I think only maybe one of those shots really got through to him, and that was a body shot. I don't think Viloria has really landed nothing but a jab cleanly to his head yet.
You have to consider, when measuring Chocolatito's defense, how aggressive he is. If you're as aggressive as Chocolatito is, you will be hit. But he seems to minimize the times he's hit cleanly.
Part of how he does that is with spectacular footwork. There's a video on YouTube by Lee Wiley called The Art of Moving. It's 12 and a half minutes of Chocolatito set to symphonic music, and you watch his feet and learn how balance and timing and footwork can all affect the punches that are thrown upstairs. It's a brilliant piece of work, which we recommend for boxing fans.
And see, here's the problem. Even though he's hit him a few times, Jim, the more you hit him, the harder he comes at you.
There's a terrific uppercut with the left hand that got through Viloria's guard. Another left hook lands at the end of the round. Brian Viloria of the United States in the white trunks with gold trim, and Roman Chocolatito Gonzales in the blue trunks with multicolored trim.
Viloria says he's never been down as an amateur or pro.
Harold Letterman scored the first round for Viloria.
And he's a quick-fisted, hard-punching, decorated fighter. And I do not think Viloria won that first round.
Harold Letterman does, though, and he's our unofficial ringside scorer. And, of course, it makes things more interesting if, in fact, it were the case, because Chocolatito is heavily favored and now ranked by many as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in boxing. Number 3 on the fight game list, behind Andre Ward and Gennady Golovkin, whom you'll see in the main event.
Chocolatito's technique as an offensive fighter is just magnificent.
Offensive and defensive, because right now he's using his defense to really make Brian work. And that's what a fighter like Chocolatito is best at, making you work when you don't want to work. He's making Brian punch when Brian doesn't really want to be punching.
About 20 seconds ago, Viloria sneaked a good right hand to the body in under the left elbow of Chocolatito. Not easy to hit him to the body, but Viloria got it done. Uppercut by Chocolatito inside. Momentarily backs Viloria up.
And Roy, you mentioned the footwork yesterday as we were looking at some video in preparation for this fight. Chocolatito's footwork in terms of how he's able to avoid punches and still land his power shots.
Really good power shots. When you saw there, he threw a 3-punch combination followed by a thunderous body shot. That's when you know a guy's a true professional. That's when you know a guy can be ranked high on the pound-for-pound list. That's why I give him credibility for being one of the top.
Chocolatito is beginning to sneak left hooks to the body under the right elbow of Brian Viloria. As you know, if you've watched boxing over the years, it's one of the most damaging punches you can throw if you get it to the target. And there's Viloria trying his own left hook to the body. Chocolatito partially blocked it. Got his elbow down on that one again.
And as you can see, Brian is breathing heavily as though he's already working a little bit, but Chocolatito is barely breathing yet.
And you saw the footwork.
Good uppercut by Brian.
Viloria tried to hustle away from him to the right, and Chocolatito was right there gliding with him.
Roy was keeping the back foot on the canvas.
Yeah, not moving the front foot. By being able to back up with that back foot going back first, it allows him to not be out of range once he steps out the way of a punch. So when he backs up, he's not all the way out of counter punch range. Most guys jump back, they move that front foot and the back foot. He doesn't do that.
Good left hook upstairs by Brian Viloria.
Brian is doing some good work.
And that enables him to frustrate Viloria sometimes, picking off those shots while remaining in punching range.
Well, whether he's one around or not, Viloria is off to. We'll see how many of those body shots he tries to mix in as he adds to the power punch count through the course of the fight.
Chocolatito's left eye seems to be closing a little bit as well.
This is a good fight.
Very good fight.
Harold Letterman's card now even as he gave the second round to Chocolatito. Those were two good hard rounds and close rounds, the first two. That's going to be called a knockdown on an amazingly short right hand inside by Chocolatito.
It wasn't called a knockdown, Jim. It was a knockdown.
Brian Viloria has never been knocked down as an amateur or a pro, and you might not have expected the first one to look like that, but there it is.
What a great right hand, right on the chin. And these short shots on the inside are doing real damage to Viloria.
And now Chocolatito's got Viloria in big trouble. Nearly 2 minutes to go in round number 3, and Chocolatito has got Viloria totally on the defensive. After the knockdown, he landed a series of hard shots in combination.
And when I say hard, I mean banging shots, Jim. But it's all about the leverage that he gets from his feet. See how wide his legs are?
What a set of uppercuts.
And he shoots them so straight, those shots.
Oh, that was a good body shot by Brian, though.
And Chocolatito's timing is so good.
They remind you of Eric Morales and Marco Antonio Barrera in there. The way they're firing away at will and landing a lot of shots.
A good shot by Brian Viloria. Brian is definitely making him work harder than anybody else I've seen make him work this early.
But with 45 seconds to go, round 3 has produced a momentous event, as after more than 200 amateur fights and 42 professional fights, Brian Viloria has finally officially tasted the canvas.
On a right hand that was so short and sweet, it was hard to see.
Exactly right.
Good body shot by Brian.
That right hook to the body from Chocolatito.
Devastating.
Hard left hook to the body by Chocolatito, too. Viloria made a great comeback in the round after having been in big trouble with 2 minutes to go, but now Chocolatito is punishing him down the stretch. Great round for Chocolatito.
He sees Chocolatito coming in, putting his hands up to defend against the right uppercut, then he throws a short right hand right on the chin of Brian Viloria. Brian never saw it coming, and down he goes for the first time of his career. Then Chocolatito throws the left uppercut followed by a straight right hand and another left uppercut, a combination definitely reminiscent of the
Brian Viloria, who's still fighting well and fighting hard, but has seen his fortunes diminish since round 1. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim, I got it 2 rounds to 1, 29-27, Chocolatito Gonzales. You know, Jim, I got to tell you, he's moving up on my pound-for-pound list, too. He's really sensational. Roman Gonzales started really slow, Jim. I thought he lost the first round. Started slow in the second round. But then all of a sudden, he started to find the range. And in the third round, he was magnificent. He couldn't miss anything. The guy is so sharp, it's incredible. Lands his lefts, lands his rights, just piles up points, and he hurts you. 2 rounds to 1, Chocolatito Gonzales.
Hard left-hand shot to the body by Viloria.
You know, you talk about punching like Arguello, and I've made the comparison with Triple G. But the 6-inch knockdown or knockout punch is best known for being thrown by Joe Louis, and that's what that right hand reminded me of, a 6-inch shot.
Yeah, it did remind you of Joe Louis, but the legs and the way he's throwing it, the tempo he throws him at, the way he changes up, all of these things remind you of Alexis Arguello.
Should make a lot of sense. Ooh, Viloria landed a good shot there.
Chocolatito hurt.
Yeah, you heard him.
And now comes back with a body shot and an uppercut.
What has to happen is when they get inside, Viloria has to attack first like that. If he doesn't attack first, then he's going to get hit. Because once you let him start punching, he doesn't stop.
Like that.
Yes.
They want Viloria moving side to side, and there Viloria back straight into the corner.
Can't back straight up on it. Good body shot by Chocolatito.
Break, no punching, no punching.
And this level of Brian Viloria would beat a lot of guys and has beaten a lot of top guys in and around the division in recent years.
Good body shot by Brian.
36 wins, 4 losses, 2 no decisions for Viloria. Has been at or near the top of the 108 and 112-pound weight classes for a long time. May never have faced anybody as good as the man he's facing tonight.
Few have.
Look at that.
That's what's most devastating about Chocolatito. He seems like he's resting for a minute. Then out of nowhere comes an 8-punch combination, and you don't know which punches are thunderous and which ones are not. So you don't know which one to really defend and which one not to defend. That makes him absolutely a devastating puncher.
They all look pretty fierce to me.
See, those first 2 right there weren't really fierce. Fierce, I mean. He taps, then he bangs, like that.
Yep.
As opposed to Viloria, where everything is hard.
Exactly. Oh, good body shot by Viloria. Now, that was a good body shot.
Real good.
Numbers through round 5. Roman Gonzales, 113 out of 272. That's 42%. Brian Viloria, 88 out of 252. That's 35%. Harold Letterman gave the first round to Viloria. Since then, it's been all Gonzales, including the 2-point round in the third when he knocked Brian Viloria down. First time Viloria has ever been down in more than 200 amateur fights and 43 professional fights.
Another difference, Roy, I think, between Chocolatito and Arguello. Arguello sometimes had a hard time tracking a fighter down who was trying to be elusive. Not that Viloria is trying to be elusive here. Chocolatito seems to me to be excellent at cutting off the ring and forcing guys to move where he wants them to.
He is, Max. That's what makes you get better. When you study a fighter, you figure out the things that he didn't do quite as good as he should have done, and you tighten up on those things.
Improve on the blueprint.
And that's what makes him the pound-for-pound fighter he is today, because he improved on the blueprint that he started with. So if you're not better than the guy that taught you, then you didn't do your job, or he didn't do his job teaching you properly.
If you find yourself marveling at home at the non-stop action, the energy, the concentration of Roman Chocolatito Gonzales, you are not alone. Yesterday, when we sat down to talk to Brian Viloria, we asked him first, what's the most important thing about fighting Chocolatito? And Viloria said, step 1 is you'd better be in the best shape of your life. In fact, you'd better be so much in the best shape of your life that it's not even close to where you've been before, because nothing is as exhausting as fighting this guy.
You could see Viloria absorbing shots, waiting for it to stop so he can unload, and it never stops.
That's very true, Max. And then he stepped around and throws a big body shot.
It feels though if you measured it against a punching bag that measured the force of the blow, Viloria would be the harder puncher. But Chocolatito's technique and accuracy separates him from the other fighter.
No, Viloria will be the sharper and more explosive puncher, but I can't say he'd be the harder puncher because this wide leg stance that he has gives him more leverage on his punches. Chocolatito, that is.
Well, it's one thing just to throw hard, but to know when to turn the glove over, to know how to pronate your wrist, to know how to apply the impact at exactly the moment at which the glove reaches the target. That's what real power punchers know how to do.
Yeah, Viloria is wearing down, and Chocolatito is picking up.
And like Golovkin, the accuracy, the pinpoint accuracy of where the shot lands to do maximum damage.
You'll see Golovkin in the main event against David Lemieux, who is himself a spectacular power puncher. Hard right hand by Chocolatito Gonzales to punctuate that round.
Range of straight right leads. Here's a missed hook. Then both guys come back, and here's a beautiful right hand exchange. Both guys almost right at the same time. That's when you know you got two top-notch class.
Round 6 of the scheduled 12 between flyweight world champion Roman Chocolatito Gonzales and American star Brian Viloria. Gonzales taking command of the fight with the multiplicity of his power punches, combinations that he puts together, the number of punches he throws, the stamina that it takes to try to stay with him.
You know what though? Brian is really making him work though, Jim. This has not been easy for Chocolatito at all. I mean, he's breathing a lot more heavier than we used to see him breathe too. And Brian is not making it no way easy for him.
No, Viloria is no pushover, obviously. This is just, he's been a top fighter for many years, and on any given night, capable of beating any of them. The feeling going into this fight is Chocolatito is just something different than everybody else.
Chocolatito starting to command distance here with his jab. Viloria tries to answer in kind. Chocolatito comes back with another 5-punch combination.
Where other fighters take breaks, Chocolatito workmanlike. Not his Sunday punch, but maybe the Saturday punch. 4 and 5 of them.
You think any of this has anything to do with the high altitude over there in Nicaragua?
Could have something to do with that. It also could have something to do with all of the hard work that Chocolatito Gonzales has put in the ring over the years. He told us a great story yesterday of how when he came back to Managua after winning his first world title, he was extremely proud. He was somewhat full of himself. He walked into the gym controlled by Alexis Arguello, a few days after winning that title, with his title belt wrapped around his upper chest. And as he came in, Arguello called out to him and said, "Hey, come here, come into this office." And when he walked in, Arguello said to his protege, "Go back outside, put that belt in the car, walk back in here like the man you've always been. Say hello to everybody, the way you always do. Nothing has changed. It's still my gym. You go to work."
Said he yelled it at him. Arguello yelled it at him in front of the gym.
And says only one champ in this gym, and that's me.
And that's the breeding that Chocolatito Gonzales was given to become a champion in this sport.
5 seconds.
Arguello, one of the most beloved fighters in and out of the ring in the history of boxing.
Round 7 of a schedule 12 coming up. It's been a tremendous effort so far by American veteran Brian Viloria, trying to stay with Roman Chocolatito Gonzales and provide Gonzales with a challenge here in Madison Square Garden at a moment when Gonzales has now become, in the eyes of many media outlets, the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in boxing. Let's see how they're doing on the unofficial Harold Letterman scorecard so far. Harold?
Okay, Jim. I got it 5-1, 59-54. Chocolatito Gonzales. You got to give him an extra point for the knockdown of round 3. That's why he's got that wide lead. Jim, I tell you, he works both hands. He's great with the left. He's great with the right. He backs you with either hand hard. And another thing he does that I love, when he throws his shots, he'll very often take a step to the side so that when, Viloria tries to counter, he's not right in front of him. And it's, it's a great defensive move he does. It's very subtle. You got to watch it real quick because the guy is so fast. But he's landed tremendous shots. 5-1, Chocolatito Gonzales.
Body shot by Gonzales, digging hard into Viloria's belly.
It's the beautiful up and down attack that I like, Jeff. He goes body, head, body, head, body. He's never in one spot. He attacks up and down, up and down. You just can't ask for a better boxing technician than this.
And Viloria is bothered now by a hard right hand from Chocolatito. Chocolatito's had a tremendous start in the first minute and a half of the 7th round here. Looks as though he wants to put some distance between himself and Brian Viloria in what's been a pretty tough give-and-take fight so far.
And I think what American fans will increasingly appreciate about Chocolatito is the aggressive application of his skills. He's skillful enough where he doesn't have to fight this way, throw so many punches around, press the action, look for the knockout. But he has, and he's won belts in 3 very small differences between the divisions, several pounds only, but still moved up, won 3 belts, and is 43-0 with 37 knockouts at the moment because of this style.
And he's got the energy and stamina not to just to do this in spurts, not to turn it on and off, but to sustain it through 12 full rounds. Yes.
Brian got to go back to his body some. There you go. Brian has to hit the body some. He can't consistently go at his head. That will not help him wear Chocolatito down. If you're going to get tired, at least make him tired with you.
Viloria's done some good body work when he's gone there.
Yes, but you got to keep it up. So Chocolatito is not going to stop. That's a good body shot. And that's a good combination by Chocolatito.
Bruising battle. In the background,
5 segundos, 5
you
seconds.
see Oscar De La Hoya, head of Golden Boy Promotions, former great fighter himself, watching with the
Me and Jim, you see the right hand to the body, to the head, the left hook clean to the body, now the left uppercut up the middle, as in the form of a left uppercut. I mean, come on, you just can't ask for much better than that.
a Mike Tyson combination.
He preferred right hook to the body, right uppercut.
He did.
Jesse Ferguson. Knockout. Jim, didn't you call that Ferguson fight?
I called Mike Tyson against Jesse Ferguson, and that was the famous post-fight quote about, I was trying to drive his nose bone into his brain.
And that was the right hook to the body, right uppercut.
That's exactly right.
Customado taught me when I throw the uppercut, I am trying to drive my opponent's nose into his brain. It was one of the quotes that built the Tyson myth early on, along with this is a hurt business, everybody's got a plan until you hit them, etc., etc. Gonzales has now landed more than 100 more power shots in the fight than Viloria, and Viloria, as the result, is beginning to slow down just a little bit. It's been such a spirited effort for both fighters through the first 7 rounds.
Viloria's
1, 2,
got
3, 4,
some
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 punches in a row by Gonzales before Viloria could throw back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 punches in a row.
Good hook by Viloria.
Gonzales is amazing.
Yep, and this is Viloria taking these big shots, Roy, with his body softened up after 7.5 rounds.
Yep, he's just got to stay in Gonzales' body too. He has the experience. He knows what to do. He just has to continue to believe in his body shots. But he got to punch. You can't let Gonzales do all the punches.
I mean, Gonzales doesn't allow you to think with him.
No.
Because he's imposing his game plan constantly, and his game plan is to remain so busy. He doesn't give you time to think.
It's almost like a quarter horse and a thoroughbred at this point, because the quarter horse is quicker in the early run and the short run, but that thoroughbred really starts to open up as that track gets long. Right now, this track is getting long.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 punches in a row.
With varied speed and force.
The most overused word in sports is incredible, but he is truly hard to believe sometimes.
Well, he's a gift for boxing purists, too, not just for casual fans who enjoy the action.
Brian Viloria is still in there, still fighting and landing some good shots from time to time.
And trying with all he has, Jim.
But it's very hard to take your eyes off Gonzales because what he does is so spectacular. Finishes the round with another hard left hook. Doctor taking a moment to have one conversation with Viloria. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. You want to keep fighting? Absolutely. Bye. On to round 9.
The way he throws that uppercut is beautiful. Chocolatito.
You keep that pressure on you, Max. That's what makes it so difficult to deal with. You keep that pressure on. Either the straight right lead, the uppercut right behind it, the 1-2 first. I mean, he's always doing something. And what he's doing is usually offensive. And that's what makes it so hard.
My boys.
You also see Chocolatito, if you look carefully at times, I say he's varying the speed and the force of his punches. But when he sees one's going to land,
he puts
a little more, exactly. A little extra on it at the last split second. Boom, 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 boom.
Can he change the speed on those 3 punches, Max?
Yeah.
Incredible work. Oh, good body shot by Brian. Good body shot by Brian. He hurt him. Brian hurt his body real bad then.
Not for the first time, by the way.
No, but that's the worst he's hurt him in this fight.
For the worst time, that's right.
And Brian hurt him bad with that body shot.
Chocolatito has not thrown a punch since Viloria landed the body shot that Roy Jones is talking about.
And unlike many fighters who hurt their opponent to the body, Viloria recognizes it and he continues to go there.
And look at how long it is taking Gonzales to recover from the body shot.
That's a wonderful thing you have to see, Jim. It's not easy to recover from that, but there he comes.
And Viloria not discouraged, didn't get distracted by those shots that Chocolatito landed, right back to the body.
Chocolatito had to take a moment to get his wind back, regain his composure, and prepare to throw another flurry.
And Brian got to quit taking that straight right hand or he won't be around much longer, Jim. That right hand has thunder on it.
Well, Viloria's face is starting to break up under all of these punches.
Oh, goodness. That right
I think Viloria,
right
that was his last stand.
That's hoorah.
And now Benji Esteves is going to stop it. And Chocolatito has the TKO.
That's a really good stoppage. Viloria has such a good chin and so much heart. There may not have been a perfect time to step in.
Benji Esteves over the years has grown into an outstanding referee. And you saw his vision right there.